ladies and gentlemen of all ages, boys and girls. Thank you for tuning in to yet another episode of Angry Meat Production. We appreciate you coming in and letting us be a part of your lives week in and week out. We hope to do our best to present you with something that your eardrums delight in. Whether you're looking at us on YouTube or Rumble, or listening to us on Spotify, Google, or Anchor, or any of the other podcast services that we are currently on or trying to get on. We thank you. And if you don't mind, at the end of every episode, stop by, leave us a comment, leave us a like. If it asks for 5 stars, we'll take 5 stars, even if you don't like us. 5 stars are what it's all about. With that being said, we hope you enjoy our attempt to make our advocation our vocation. Ladies and gentlemen, let the games begin.
Welcome, Angry Faithful. Today on What the Hell, we're just going to talk about news and everything that's been happening. What did you want to go on first, the agenda, Chris? You want to go with the China, the police station?
China.
It's a China virus. It's China. I can't do that.
Yeah, you gotta purse the lips a little bit more. It's got to come from
China.
China. It's China. China. It's very, very, very China.
Yeah. Which everybody's like, when I went to work last night, everybody's like, "Did you hear about China?" I was like, "The fuck did they do now?" They got police stations. It's like, didn't I tell you like when I start working here on nights that there is like Chinese police stations? How'd you know about that? Because it happened like a year ago. You think they stopped? Well,
Yeah, I mean, the reason I had brought it up to you was just like I said, there's they're still opening police stations, and they're not allowed. The mainstream media is being steered away from it, which again is not a surprise to anybody at all.
Yeah, since China mostly owns most.
I was gonna say China owns the fucking station, so.
Yeah. Well, what's really sad is I start after watching that, and I think I sent you no, you sent that to me, and I started rereading it or rewatching it. Was what they have been doing. I totally forgot about the invasive species seeds.
Mm-hmm. But you know, it's and this isn't even. I say it's not news in that this is not the first time that we've had entities setting up their own policing zones like this. Like you look in New York, there was Islamic police that were starting to roam certain neighborhoods there. Dearborn, Michigan is notorious as one of the largest Muslim communities in the entire country.
Yes.
They have their own kind of form of Muslim Islamic police that are walking around. There's a couple of places in Minnesota that have the same. Like this is nothing new, but I think this is the first time that we've had one that is sanctioned by a foreign power.
Open and blatantly doing this shit.
Blatantly, exactly.
What's really strange about the whole thing is the description of what they were trying to do for the community is like the one thing that just got me off was just like, oh, we're trying to help you get your driver's license. I'm like, how?
No, that's not what a police force does.
Yeah,
the force is there to enforce a law.
Well, it was hidden away, like the other ones that have been like. I think was it last year they caught a group like that last year, or was it a year before that? I mean, it was quite a while ago.
Well, it was fairly recent.
I think it was last summer. But I don't like to harp on shit like this, like in a constant basis. And anybody that listens to this, like, I don't like to repeat myself.
Yeah.
But you have to keep on thinking on this is a lot of stuff. I've heard people, say good things about China, and then I'm like, no, China's a communist country, and they're
through and through.
yeah, through and through, and they just end up doing horrible stuff with the Muslim community. They put them in freaking concentration camps. I'll just call them what they are, concentration camps. You can call them death camps too, because they're kind of death camps too. They're doing stuff like against humanity and everything.
Yeah. Well, you look at their enforcement of their population rule that they had, the one baby rule or whatever.
Well,
So
it's
yeah, it's not as much, but I'm saying in the height of it, their enforcement of that rule was draconian.
Oh yeah, they would smash like kids' heads in.
Oh yeah,
It was
they had needles of formaldehyde, and as soon as a baby crowned, they would jam that needle into the soft spot.
just fucking Christ, yeah.
And they always denied it. The official government line was, no, this isn't happening. But you would have all kinds of hospital workers and doctors that got out of the country that would say 100% that is the policy. It's not knowledge policy. This is the government policy. That baby is not alive until it draws its first breath. And until then, because it's not an authorized pregnancy, it's going to be terminated.
Yeah. What's really sad, there was a movie that I think it was back in the 90s where, I mean, there was a couple of them where they were doing the whole depopulation stuff.
Yeah.
And I see some certain movies and everything, and a lot of people laugh at me when I do this. I'm like, some of these movies are, if they make you laugh or they make you cry, and they're not drama, they're a comedy, you should really just take them serious, because this is what's kind of happening in the world. Now, I'm not going to go out and like, oh no, you got to watch this movie, you got to believe in this shit. Like Demolition Man. How much shit is actually happening other than the she sells?
Right. The seashells and Taco Bell is not taking over the fast food wars. Taco Bell is not winning that particular war.
No.
But
But people are,
although they have to be paying people off. If they're going to be rated the #1 Mexican restaurant in America, there has to be some money being exchanged.
Yeah. But people are being detained because of what they, and it's not fully on in our country, but people are being detained because what they're saying online.
Mm-hmm.
And they're
like I said, here not as blatantly. It's still more of a court of public opinion. You get eviscerated, but you go to like stories coming out of Canada, there's stories coming out of Great Britain that 100% they will go and knock on your door and arrest you because of something that you put on social media.
Yeah, and like everybody's like, "Oh, Russia's doing it." Yeah, it's Russia. We know. We can't really stop that, but it's still like the numbers are a lot lower compared to like Great Britain.
Right.
It was like that comedian I keep on sending you. I mean, it's a constant thing. He's like, how many people got arrested in Russia? I don't know, 400 people for what they said online. How many people got arrested in Great Britain? I don't know, about 34, 3,200.
Mm-hmm.
And what? They're supposed to have free speech. No, they don't have free speech. Canada does not have free speech.
No.
And it's
common. What's common among all of those nations?
Yeah, they're a monarchy.
Well, Russia's not a monarchy, but they, for all intents and purposes, it is.
We kick their ass.
They're all gun free.
Yeah. Yeah. That is true.
No, they said something like there's like what they say 34 people a day getting stabbed in England,
Yeah, they London is actually you have to register to get a butcher knife if you're working in it, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did a
And still they have that, it's that level of restriction, and it's that hard to get even a knife in England, and there's 34 stabbings every day.
yeah. Weird.
Strange.
No, we did an episode because I saw that and I got confused with what an add-on and that is like New York City at the time. I don't know if they're doing it anymore. They probably still are. The Jewish community are in New York were axe practicing axe work, melee axe work because they couldn't get a gun. They can't get all this stuff to protect themselves. Yes, we're gun people. Yes, we want to protect ourselves. We're not going out and doing weird shit like a lot of people end up doing because they're fucking crazy and fucking shitbag and they need mental help. But we do this to protect ourselves from even the government.
Exactly. That's
I hate
why. And you have all these people. It's a weapon of war, and you can't have those. But you need a lot more than that in order to go, because the government has tanks and nuclear bombs.
Yeah. You know what I did find out? Because I was talking to one of my
tank out.
Huh?
You know how easy it is to take a tank out?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
If you're properly motivated.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, did you watch Nick's new TikTok or well, he's putting them on more or less YouTube too. He was talking about the dogs where they like strap a bomb on top of it and they like have a gauge. What happened was it was the Russians doing this, and they were practicing with the T-55s or T-95, whatever they fucking are, their tanks. But the dogs, they would release the dogs, and the dogs would just go back to the other tanks because that's where they practice. Oh, that's fucking hilarious. I mean, it's horrible for a dog.
That was during World War II, right?
Yeah, that was during World War.
That was they had the T-34s.
Okay, T-34.
Although speaking of T-55, you know that's what they're rolling out now.
Yeah,
in Ukraine. That's how bad their supply situation has gotten, that they've had to take T-55s, which are early Cold War. Those are from the 50s and 60s.
Yeah, they can't shoot up.
Mothball hose. Take those off of mothballs, and they're sending them out to Ukraine. These Ukrainian farmers right now are better armed than fucking Russia for all the tanks that they stole a year ago.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
What's really funny is I was talking to somebody about their draft.
Oh yeah.
Dude, I feel so sorry for those guys because I've seen some of them like, well, he's dead. He's dead.
Yeah.
He might live.
They've been literally fleeing the country trying to avoid it.
Yeah.
They know they're gonna get slaughtered.
Well, hell, the most Googled thing in Russia right now is, right? You'd think it'd be porn, but it's not porn. It's how to break your leg. I fucking shit you not.
I believe it 100%.
You know how bad things are. If the most Google thing is how to break your leg,
it beats porn. Anything that beats porn.
Yes, exactly. Anything that beats porn. It's
that's fantastic.
It is fucking hilarious. Now, back to the China thing.
That's right. That's what we were talking about.
Yeah. A lot of people are up in arms with the administration. Go figure. What was really funny about the whole thing is when she was reporting it, the press secretary.
Yeah.
I keep on seeing her, like her face is defeated. Like, I can't believe I fucking still work here. Why am I still here?
Because they can't
I mean,
get anybody else.
if you're going with an administration that's blatantly lying no matter what, you gotta have a a good poker face. It's either that or she's still pissed off that she almost got arrested for a DUI.
Oh, I'm sure.
And that might be it too.
Yeah, but even before that, like, I mean, if I had to work for this administration and do the shit that she's had, shovel the shit that she's had to, I'd be fucking drinking too.
Yeah, I would too. It's just it's
brings it on herself a lot too with the answers that she gives.
oh,
But they're not giving her anything to say.
well, this whole administration, I think they don't realize that knowledge is readily available nowadays.
Remember, though, this is the most transparent administration in American history. Remember, he said that right at the beginning. My administration is going to be the most transparent in history.
I mean, it is transparent. We get the news before he does.
This is what transparency looks like.
Yeah. I don't know. Do you, which reminds me, I mean, we touched bases on it on Nerd Sports. Do we want to talk about the cuck?
Which one?
The one that stole like
oh no, you're talking about the dude on Discord.
Yes. If you watch our Nerd Sports, you already know what, and it's in the news. It's been in the news of the last week. We get news a little bit slower on this show, and we tell it a little bit slower on this show because 2 weeks, my schedule is kind of hurtful. I was thinking about doing it maybe once a week, but time frames with everybody, it's very drastic and hard. But the whole I believed it, but I still can't believe it.
As soon as it started coming out, I had called it. I was like, listen, this is probably gonna end up being because they had done this in it's War Thunder all over again. Except War Thunder was done maliciously.
Yeah.
That dude was trying to release information. Like that was completely different. This dude, he literally just fucking was like, listen, I work for this and
he was trying to do what most CIA agents do. That's the reason why that's one thing that I can't believe people believe. I was like, they're holding the information back from us. It's like,
yeah. This dude was an IT guy.
Yeah. And
just happened to have access to this shit. And when he told somebody it was a Minecraft Discord server.
Yeah.
And he started saying, yeah, I have access to I'm work for the CIA and I have access to all this. And then shut up, dude. No, you don't. No, really, I do. Want me to prove it? They're like, you're not gonna show shit. You don't show us, you're a cuck.
Yeah.
He threw hundreds.
It was fucking
hundreds of documents out there.
What's sad is a lot of the CIA operatives were trying to figure out how he got a lot of the information because he had information that he wasn't supposed to have.
He's an IT man. He has access to everything. He's the one that sets up fucking all of it. He sets up all the systems. He has access, backdoor access to everything.
Yeah, shit. Yeah.
IT.
Well, they were still wondering how they got some of the information that he got. We're like, he wasn't supposed to have access to this. How did he? I was like,
yeah, no.
He probably had a clipboard and hard hat and a reflective vest.
You know what gets you in?
What?
Coca-Cola uniform.
Oh yeah, fuck yeah.
And not just necessarily Coca-Cola, but whatever the vending service is inside the building. If you're wearing that They don't even look at you.
Yeah.
You're a piece of furniture.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hell, even the cleaning crew.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Any cleaning crew, maintenance. If you walk in, and they actually did this. There were guys that there was. I saw some TikTok videos a while ago. They actually did an experiment with this where they walked in carrying a ladder to all these places. He walked into movie theaters. He walked into office buildings, and it was two of them walked in with a ladder. Half the time, people were holding the door for them. Yeah, come on in, come on in.
yeah.
Out without asking what they're there for, credentials, nothing. They just were two guys just in regular clothes that were carrying ladders, and they just walked right in.
Yeah.
No
I get a lot of surprises when I start talking to like the our janitor staff, because they're contractors.
Yeah,
They're not part of the company.
yeah.
And like, what?
People.
That's nice. I sometimes I was like, oh, that's nice of you talking with them. It's like they're not contractor with us. They could be spies. It's like ha 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 ha. And then something like that comes out and like, oh, Dave, you're not joking around, are you? It's like, no, I've been trained for this.
Yeah, you got to keep an eye on them.
Not in military training. It's me working as a correctional officer that I got trained for this.
Yeah,
Because you always ask what people are doing and everything, because you don't know if they're setting up shanks to kill you or somebody else, and people like thinking it's like, oh, it's your military. I was like, I was a cook, motherfucker. They trained us a little bit. There's like, hey, look out for people. Okay, I'm gonna cook.
It was a military training. Military training is like, you want to know how to make an omelet? I got you.
Yeah.
Do I know how to run a psyop? That's not the training that I got. That's what everybody hears military training, and it's like, ooh, no, come on.
Or one of those things. It's like, did you kill a lot of people? It's like, technically yes, but
Salmonella.
it was kind of friendly fire-ish. Oh, you shot people on your own on your own side. It's like, no, I kind of they kind of wish they were dead.
I let the meatloaf out of temperature.
Yeah, it was a bad day. It was a real bad day. Which this is how stupid I was, because I've never cooked shrimp.
Yeah, no.
And they just like, hey, you have to what are those cup things with the sauce? They have an actual word for it. I just forget the fucking word. And you just put the shrimp on the cups. But anyways,
Talking about the cocktails, shrimp cocktails.
Shrimp cocktails.
Yeah.
I've never did a shrimp cocktail. I've never done really shrimp. I don't eat fish.
Yeah.
My dumb ass just push the shrimp on there, sends it out. I forgot to fucking boil them. It's like,
it's usually served cold, but you still gotta cook it.
that's what the fuck I was thinking. I was thinking,
why are those gray?
Yes, exactly. That's exactly what happened. That was exactly what was said.
I mean, they do it with oysters. They go out raw.
Yes.
Just throw a little lemon on there and you're good.
And I had and this is when I was a senior airman. And he's like, how stupid are you? I was like, listen, I've never cooked shrimp. He was like, you never cooked shrimp while you're here? I was like, no, I never did the cocktails or anything. He's like, you got to cook them, boil them, and then you put them in ice. I was like, okay, I got you now. He's like, this is the stupidest shit I've ever. I was like, I've never did cocktails. You've never had shrimp? I was like, no, I've never had shrimp. Never had fried shrimp. Never had any kind of shrimp. I've had lobster once.
You're the anti-Bubba.
Yes, I'm anti-Bubba.
You're not anti-Bubba. You are the anti-Bubba.
Okay, yeah.
Don't you dare be against Bubba. Bubba's awesome.
Now, the other thing that we've been noticing this week, and we passed each other's news on this one, and it came out of left field. And we talk about this off bases because we don't really see the news into it, and nothing's big's happened so far. And it would just be basically shit talking. But there's a lot of shit talking this week with Eddie Gallagher, David Goggins. If anybody knows them, Eddie Gallagher was, and here's right here, The Men in the Arena it was his book. I got an advanced copy, got a coin, gave the coin to my dad. Signed copy of the book. Book was really good. Check it out. The Man in the Arena. It details his time to where right before he was about to retire, he basically got imprisoned in the brig and falsely accused about his time in Afghanistan's last deployment, because what was it, just 3? I'm trying to remember. I read the book like a year ago when it first came out.
It's been a while. I honestly don't remember.
But I know definitely it was like 3 people that were just very upset that they had to do their job. That was it. They had to do their job. I was like, oh, it's unsafe conditions. It was like, your SEALs. Everything you basically do is unsafe conditions. You could do a patrol underneath a aircraft carrier at an unsafe condition.
You're in a fucking
war because it's actually happened. There's a lieutenant. A lieutenant that was on Marcus Luttrell's team that ended up dying because he couldn't figure out which direction to go underneath a aircraft carrier, because those things are floating cities.
Mm-hmm.
And he got lost, and he lost his air, and he died. Now, their job is to go into unsafe conditions. Not saying that they don't prep those unsafe conditions, but fucking shit happens. I mean, but
there's a line from The Unit. I don't know if you ever watched The Unit, but
a long time ago, but yeah,
Jonah Blaine, Sergeant Major, he had one of the greatest lines. Said, "I make my money by letting the scum of the earth shoot at me." That is literally their job description, is to let the scum of the earth shoot at. Well, not let them shoot at them, but
yeah,
that's normally what ends up happening.
Yeah, but not to get into the full details. If you want the full details, Man in the Arena, check it out, buy it, get it on audio tape. Very good. Or audio book. We'll just say audio book, audio tape. Fucking, that's how old I am. But apparently when Eddie Gallagher was in the brig, Dan Crenshaw pretty much put up a petition blocking him and trying to keep him into in the brig and keep him arrested. I mean, he supposedly tried to help get the lawyers and everything, but there was other 50 congressmen.
To his face, he was saying he was doing everything he could to help him out and get him out. But he found out behind the scenes that he was trying to block it.
Yeah, it was the 50 congressmen that are actually supporting Gallagher.
Yeah,
that just came like
something like that. Yeah,
he's been two-faced. He's been telling everybody to keep you in prison, which it's ridiculous. I mean, then I didn't get fully on what David Goggins was saying, because David Goggins, and he's a straightforward guy, but sometimes he's a little bit too much straightforward for me. I don't know how he is in personal, but he has beef with Dan Crenshaw. A lot of people are saying Dan Crenshaw is not the person that he says he is.
Yep.
So if you're
And his voting record lately has also shown that to be.
Yeah.
Especially with all of his support for the the fuck is that? The TikTok ban. I can't remember what's the name of the bill again. Starts with an R.
God,
It escapes me.
God. I had it on the tip of my tongue too, and I blanked
I
out.
would say recall, but that's not right.
I was about to say the same. Okay.
The
It's S1143 117th Congress. No TikTok. Blah blah blah. Yeah, that's Montana. Montana blocked TikTok.
no,
Uh,
you got it.
Restrict Act,
Restrict. That's what I'm looking for.
which is basically being
So no, his support for the Restrict Act and everything has been very vocal. But then you go to find out, you look at his stock record and his public records, and he just bought up before he started talking, speaking against it and testifying against TikTok and for the Restrict Act. He bought a whole bunch of Meta stock.
Yeah.
It's blatant. Like it's not even subtle at this point. He's been completely bought off.
Yeah, which is really sad because it's just. I mean,
just you can't trust any politician. Every politician is they may start out fine, and at the beginning of the office, he seemed okay. He was saying all the right things at the very beginning. Every single politician goes off the rails as soon as they get to Washington.
Yeah.
What it is.
Not all politicians. I mean, you got Tulsi Gabbard that one time, one congressman who we were talking about.
Well, yeah.
And
no, because it may take longer. Some of them may take longer. All of them go off the rails. Every single one of them.
Well, Tulsi Gabbard did go off the rails a little bit, especially after what her husband died.
And she has been look, she's gone after guns a few times. She's spoken out against having AR-15s and things like that. So,
well, that was because of if you look at the time frame on that, not to, she shouldn't have fucking done it, but if you look at the time frame, giving her benefit of the doubt, her husband did die at that time from gunfire.
Which, okay.
I mean, I would be upset if like, like the whole pit bull thing, pit bulls are great dogs.
Mm-hmm.
If you raise them right, just like anybody, if you raise a kid right, they'll turn out right.
So you blame the owner.
Yeah, you blame the owner, not the dog.
Yeah.
But if a pit bull attacked my child, and I hate to use the pit bull because they're so lovable. If you raise them right, they're so fucking lovable. Annoying as hell though, but lovable. But you'd want to ban pit bulls. You would understand. I was like, oh no, my daughter was bit by a pit bull. Yeah, we got to ban those dogs. So I can understand that.
You're a better man than I, because I still can't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just
don't blame the tool, blame the person.
I see it.
I have not yet ever seen anybody who loses a family member to a drunk driver go after the car manufacturer. Not once. Not once.
I've seen a couple of people do it.
They went after Ford because that person drove drunk.
No, that went off the Ford. No,
Chevy or Toyota or whoever it was. I've never seen
can't
anybody
remember it.
go after the car manufacturer.
Okay. I'm just gonna shut up on that one because I don't know why, but I remember like a certain situation, but I just can't. I would have to look it up. I'm not research right now, but no, it's. I mean, if you look at wholeheartedly what he's been doing afterwards, because I mean, even a certain company and a couple of other people like backed him, and now they're backing away a little bit away from him.
Yeah, they should too, because like I said, I don't want to say it's his true colors coming through, but it's like I said, there's just something about being in that city or in that position. I don't know if it's the city itself or it's just being in that position and having these lobbyists kiss your ass 24/7. It changes something in your brain. You lose whoever you were before.
I've actually talked about this several times, and it's given in the situations how you program your brain. We'll just say programming your brain. I was like, I was talking to BC about it, about how to stop it, like negative thoughts. If the only thing that you actually see in your life is all the negative, that's because you programmed your brain to only see the negative. You can program your brain to see certain things.
Right.
And when you get programmed by propaganda and government propaganda, like one side's telling you, oh, this is this, that's all you're going to see. And that's all you're going to do. It happens. And once you move away from yourself and you get away from that situation for a little bit, like if you knew me when I was working in corrections, you would think I was the most horrible asshole you could possibly meet. I was just horrible to everybody. And it was only because, in the work environment I was actually at, it fucking sucked.
Yeah.
But, I'm not against anybody that works in corrections. They're just in the situation working up there. You have to have the deeper mindset, and seeing some of those people that still work up there, they still have that mindset that they're a little bit above them.
It really does.
That they're a little bit above, a lot of people.
Yeah.
And depending on where you work at and everything, I mean, I've seen people that work as a nurse that think they're above everybody. But it's just the situation, and some people are some people are more or less easily manipulated with that stuff. I still think it's yes, I make excuses for people because I don't really fully know them. But once I get, to know a person and everything, I was like, oh no, that this is how he is because of this. It could be he has, brain trauma, or you could just be
It's
an asshole.
possible, but and again, I wouldn't go that far with it. I just think that it just eventually everybody drinks the Kool-Aid. And it's the same thing with the Hollywood celebrities. That's why it's so rare to find one that doesn't change after they get discovered, just because you have that hero worship, and that's almost the environment that they're in with what the lobbyists and everybody. You're surrounded by yes men constantly. Nobody in that office that he's in is going to challenge him the way that he should be to keep him grounded.
Yeah.
Because whatever they want, because there's their own power structure going on. There's a power struggle within the office to have access to him, because access is power in that city. So there's a constant blowing smoke up his ass. I'd say whatever I think he wants to hear in order to have access to him.
Yeah.
And again, it's the same, like I said, with the Hollywood celebrities, because they have, fans kissing their ass all the time. You got the media kissing their ass all the time. It's just that hero. It's almost like creating a complex within them. They drink the Kool-Aid.
Well,
Everybody drinks the Kool-Aid.
have you ever met somebody that was super pretty? She got all the stuff that she wanted, and when she's older, you went around town and she couldn't figure out why people are ignoring her.
Hmm.
It is fucking hilarious. I mean,
Yeah.
I've never had like that I'm super sexy attitude. I mean, I've seen myself in the mirror. I get it.
That said, I have eyes. I know what I look like.
Yeah. But I've always had to like wait on people. It's like, hey, I'm over here. Now I've gotten better to the point to where it's like, hey, over here. No, I was like, no, you're not. You were blatantly going over there to go fucking visit that woman.
Yeah.
Come over here. If you do that, I'm a fucking better tipper than she's not gonna tip you. The boy is gonna try to save enough money
Right.
so he can get more drinks to get her fucking bed. Come over here. I got people over here. We need drinks. And I'm gonna get
She's not gonna let you fuck her.
yeah. And I've had guys, I've had bartenders go up to me after I said that. He's like, fucking you're right, dude. I was like, yeah. I'm not trying to be an attention point. I'm trying to get my shit. I'm trying to get my shit.
Exactly. Learn to read the room, dude. Come on.
But if I went with this chick one time, and we went to the bar. She's like, I was like, hey, get. She was offering to get the drinks. I was paying, but she went to go get drinks. Like, I can get the bartender's attention. Blah blah blah. I was like, I was sitting there. It's like, the fuck's the alcohol at? I'm getting a little. My buzz is going down. I go up. I was like, hey, what's going on? She's like, the bartender's not paying attention to me. I don't know why. I'm like, it's because you're fucking old. Hold on. He was probably an asshole.
You can't be.
I'm just truthful.
See, there's a difference between being strident and being an asshole. And in that situation, you're being strident. You're being forceful. You're not being an asshole. You're just being forceful.
Yeah.
There's a difference.
But it is
now being an asshole would be screaming at him and belittling him, saying, you don't know what the fuck you're doing. Your job is, how hard is it to serve a bunch of drinks? That's being an asshole.
Yeah.
And hey, we need drinks over here. It's not being an asshole.
See, her face was hilarious because she just went.
Besides, he also come on. You think he doesn't know who's paying in this situation?
Oh yeah.
So he's not going to pay attention to her because she's not the one paying.
Yeah.
She's not the one that's going to be tipping.
Have you ever? This was a while ago. It was a guy went out. All he did was ask the prices of the drinks, but he did it with females and he did it with males. Males right off the bat knew how much each price of the fucking drink was. It's like, yeah, it's this price. It's this. The woman's like, I don't know. It's kind of weird.
Funny how that works.
Yeah.
I could ballpark it. I could walk into pretty much any bar and you could ballpark it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Obviously, there's going to be a little bit of difference, but depending on what you get, like you can get a Bloody Mary and time of day, and if you get well or top shelf, you pay anywhere from $5 to $8.
Yeah.
In most of the places I go anyway.
Yeah. Now, another thing that I want to talk about. Well, there's two other things. Another thing I want to talk about: EVs, electric vehicles. Are they the saviors of the world or the damnation? Now, a lot of people are talking about, especially now. I mean, you get those commercials all the fucking time now of car companies going to making electric cars. Big time celebrities like Brie Larson and Arnold Schwarzenegger and Salma Hayek. They're getting big money to try to sell these cars. And I was looking at a couple of places that they're setting up for, all electric work vehicles. They're like, we're gonna buy like 30 of these electric vehicles. The city doesn't have enough power to keep them charged.
Yeah. So, what was it? It was they needed. I'm trying to remember the amount of numbers. It was over twice the load that they need. I think the city was capable of producing like 2 megawatts or something like that.
Mhm.
To keep everything charged would be 5.
Yeah,
And that was just the vehicles. That doesn't include
the town itself.
that was just the vehicles.
Well, I still like the whole fucking fact that they California put it in a bill. It's like, oh, we're going all EV by 2025.
It was by 2035 you will not be able to buy an internal combustion vehicle in California.
Yeah. And what was so hilarious about that was the next week they were having power struggles. I was like, hey, you can't charge your vehicle.
Yeah, they're asking, please don't charge your vehicle because we're having rolling brownouts.
Yes. That just shows they don't have the output for those vehicles. And those vehicles, and a lot of people there's a lot of companies that actually, bought into the a hype, or they just wanted to test it out, see if they wanted to do it. So they bought like one electric vehicle truck. And they said it's like, you are literally not using you're not using the truck that much, only because, like, what a lot of people don't understand is you're drawing more energy if you're putting more weight onto the vehicle.
Right.
Because the engine, the motor has to work a little bit harder.
Exactly. It's the same as with gas. You use more gas when you're hauling heavier loads. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's easier to. What was really funny is like I was watching. I forget what movie it was. We'll forget about the movie. It was just Kevin Bacon was trying to sell these EVs, and he was like, "Look at here! It only takes me 18 minutes to fill this." I was like, "Is he serious? Fucking trying to sell us this by saying it's 18 minutes? What ad company decided to put that little bit of tipped information in there to sell a vehicle?" I was like, it takes me maybe 5 minutes to fill up my tank.
10 if the pump is slow.
Yeah, 10 if the pump is slow. So an extra 8 minutes, and I won't still the guy that's having gas will be on the road.
Right.
So,
but that's the thing is that like, and this is like, you're going to see road trips are going to be a thing of the past.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to be able to, it's a 2-hour fill up or whatever it is.
Hold on real quick. We're going to pause. Sorry about that, folks. Dad came in, had to make sure he's doing all right. But even the I mean, they were doing a test. If you took an EV vehicle and dumped it, trashed it, got rid of it, the destruction of that vehicle and its cause on the environment is like 1,000 times more.
Yeah.
Than
Just
than
creating vehicles. Just there, and they've actually like done the studies on these, and over the lifetime of the vehicle, it is magnitudes more dirty to have an electric vehicle than it is a gas.
Yeah,
because you can't recycle those batteries.
No,
they have to store them.
No,
because it's all full of toxic heavy metal.
It's considered nuclear waste.
Yeah.
And what a lot of people also don't understand, yes, your phones are the same excuse in any kind of laptop or anything like that. You're supporting slavery also.
Yeah. But well, I mean, the biggest difference
I'll
on those batteries is just the like
Oh.
how much does those car batteries weigh? How much
Oh,
extra
yeah.
material does it take to actually create those things? Those are like, yeah, they're like 800-pound batteries. They're ridiculously heavy,
Mm-hmm.
and
I
there's
mean, the
several of them.
vehicles, I'll give it this: the vehicle doesn't tumble at
Mhm.
all because they did the moose test.
Heavy.
Moose test. Have you heard of the moose test? It's an actual test.
Or you're trying to tip it.
Yeah. But man, and what
And
really?
that you haven't seen any rollovers.
Oh no!
Yeah,
Because
these Teslas are not rolling.
yeah, no, those vehicles aren't.
I
Are
don't
not.
think you could if you tried.
Yeah. Two more things on this before we head on out. Well, another thing after this, but anyways, they did a study of the carbon emissions and how much carbon emissions that we produce right now.
Mhm.
And a lot of the people that were in the panel and everything, they're environmentalists. They're like, oh, it's 5%. That's how much. That's how much.
How much carbon is in the atmosphere right now?
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're like it's 0.04%.
04%.
And if we go to 0.03, plants start dying.
Mhm.
Not to say we should run these
No, we
vehicles
should.
so we can have more. 'Cause the methane is not carbon emissions.
No, and that's again, that's not to say that we shouldn't have clean air. We shouldn't strive for clean air and clean water. That's nobody is saying that. Like, and they like to say, oh well, if it weren't for the environmental movement, then the air in California would be so much dirtier, and you had all the smog that was over there and everything. It's like I wouldn't say it was
Well,
but yes, the air is cleaner now than it has been since in the 70s.
yeah.
Absolutely. That is a good thing.
Yeah.
Now, you don't want to kill yourself economically to get to that stuff.
Well, key
It is making sense
or
for a lot of these. Yeah, it's making sense for corporations to, I won't say go green, but to be more green, to be more sustainable. That is a net plus. That is a good thing.
yeah, like putting I think it was like from what the person described, it was like an extra thing on top of the vents to burn off the CO2, so it comes out a little bit, or it just burns off all the harmful stuff in the environment.
You're basically putting a catalytic converter on your smokestacks.
Yeah, exactly.
To dumb it down and simplify it. That's essentially what you're doing.
Surprised you don't have any meth heads trying to grab that stuff from the top.
I probably shouldn't say that too loud. They will. They'll start climbing the fucking smokestacks.
Dude, they told me.
Oh god,
Told me when I got back to working at my job, they told me it's like, don't worry about your car being unlocked. Worry about they instilling the Cadillac inverters. It's like this is like the second time someone said something like this.
There was a video I saw about that where there was a mechanic that was looking underneath the car. He had the car up on Jackson. He'd go underneath and look. This dude had steel bands welded across the fucking catalytic converter, and it was wrapped with razor wire. The whole underneath was completely and totally like you could not get in there if you didn't have a fucking angle grinder. Like it was going to take a while to get in there. And you were going to slice yourself up because it was covered in razor wire. Like this dude had already been ripped off once. It had to have been. And he's like, nope, once was enough. I'm done. he put an anti-theft on his fucking catalytic converter. It was amazing. Oh, it was
pressed.
It looked like it looked like the underside of a Mad Max car. Like it was straight out of Mad Max.
I mean, oh man, I would be pissed off if I found that with one of the vehicles I was working on, but I would respect it.
Listen, as long as I didn't have to get around it in order to fucking fix whatever I'm fixing, yeah, hell yeah.
I'd put it back. I was like, motherfucker. Well, we're taking this off,
You know
but
what?
I would put it back.
Oh, 100%. I
Yeah.
might even find ways to improve it.
Oh yeah. Hell, I thought about Mad Max. Like if I ever get this vehicle, if I ever get my baby, I would seriously do a Mad Max on it. I would put like explosives because if I know
It would be full on kit.
huh?
It would be full on kit. I would have like fingerprint raiders. That's it. If I win the lottery, my car, it would be kit 100%. I'd have like fingerprint readers on the door, and if you don't fucking, if it doesn't match your fingerprint there, you get fucking like taser prongs come out and shit. Like,
No, no, I don't. I will call it. I would
oil
call.
slicks, caltrops coming out the back, flamethrowers, front, side, and rear. Absolutely.
I would cause a terrorist event with my car. I mean, I'd be going to jail, hands down. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But
Yeah.
they stole my car. They stole
Well, on the other hand, stay away from my car.
yeah. Yeah.
If he wouldn't have fucked with my car, we wouldn't be in this position. So you know what? Go blame him.
Yeah. Have you ever in the last part, and this is another TikTok segment. And this is brought up because I was watching Unsubscribed podcast. And yeah, I was watching the episode, and they were talking about back in the day when Diablo had like you could sell items in the auction house with that for actual real money.
Yes.
What a lot of people don't understand is like back in the day, China had like child factories where the kids would just play video games.
Yes, no, they would have fucking gold farms set up, and there would be, it would literally have server farms,
Yeah.
of people just 12 hours a day fucking playing this shit.
I've seen video. I've seen videos. It was like the beginning of YouTube and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Where it was like living in a shanty.
Yeah.
It was just horrible conditions. And they're doing the same. And what a lot of people don't understand is they're doing the same thing now, even with like TikTok. Have you seen? I think I sent you a video. I'm not really sure, but they have like the girls, like young teenage Chinese women, and they set them up in a building, and they have like I'd say it's about the size of my bathroom, probably, but it's half. And they go in these little rooms and they just sit there talking and everything. And they would just end up like getting like the roses and everything like that, and that's how they raise money from themselves.
Yeah, they're just living off the fucking tips and shit that they're getting from it.
Yeah, which is really fucking weird.
Yeah.
But fuck, I'm getting notices, so we're about to close up shop. But anyways, that's this week's bi-weekly news. But I'm David Dickerman.
I'm Chris Jacka.
Thank you all for listening and watching. Talk to y'all later.